good afternoon to you all. Um, so I decided to do a kind of last minute live today because I just wanted to talk about a couple things. And I've got a few pickups that I thought would be fun to share um, with y'all. So probably be around an hour, hopefully. We'll see how many people show up and how the conversation is. But yeah. So Raya, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And by the way, after this show, Raya will be streaming. So go check her out. Um, yeah. Okay. So, first things first. I'm going to pull up this. And by the way, is my audio okay? Because I am always having problems with my audio. Does it sound clear? I hope so. Okay, let me see. Here we go. So, first and foremost, perfect audio, good. Um, I want to bring this up. So, this was given to me yesterday, actually, by a friend who is, kind of going away for a while. And he was just like, hey, I have this. I just never really got around to doing what I wanted to do with it. So here. And I was like, thank you. I will take this. So I got a free bar top basically with an X Arcade, and it even has like a little LCD TV in it. So I am not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I, what's up, Austin? Um, yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it has potential. I feel like it could be a really fun um, project. And I've got a girlfriend who does stickers, and I'm actually going to start getting a lot of my sticker stuff through her. So I'm probably going to have her actually do the stickers for this, and I'm like excited to see what the side art is going to look like. My big thing is, am I going to use like arcade style, like model it after something, or should I just like custom graphic it out? Like, pink and purple and green graffiti. Um, so I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet, but um, since it's obviously going to be a multicade or something to that effect. I have an extra Dreamcast. I actually thought about making it a Dreamcast kiosk. But I don't know. What is up, Endless? Hey. Um, so yeah, those are kind of my options. Either model it with like arcade style. So I was thinking like Capcom because I love Capcom. Or I go all out and just go custom and do like pink, purple, green graffiti, or I make it a Dreamcast kiosk with the X Arcade stick. So, hi Jason. Um, but yeah, so that's my pickup, you guys. So if you're just joining in, um, I was lucky enough to get this thing for free. So lunchtime live stream. What's up, Rexer? Um, so yeah, I mean, for free, who can complain, right? I just have to take apart the X Arcade stick and probably, double check everything. And I actually have bolts because there's screws where the joysticks are. And I actually have like the bolts that you screw in from the other side. So I think it has a lot of potential for a free pickup. I'm super stoked about it. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it's going to be really cool, really fun. Um, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I just need to figure out what I'm going to put in it and what it's going to look like. So, that is my pickup for this week. My free pickup, I should say, because tomorrow I'm getting my $350 in mint condition Double Dragon iArcade. Yes, I never thought I'd be saying it, but for 350 bucks, I could not resist the appeal of the Double Dragon iArcade. And of course, I want those Sega games, Double Dragon, and you know, that's hey, I'm just gonna say it. I want it. So that was the only one that I was ever interested anyways. And Gen 1s, they don't sell them anymore. So I was like, man, I'm definitely not paying, $1,000 for the newer one. And it's like so big. And that's one of the things I like about the Gen 1s. So Miss Pac-Man 550. Oh, bummer. Dude, that would have been killer. That would have been killer. I'm still trying to get that Dynamo, the HS5, and I am so irritated. Like, I could like show you guys like the desperation of my messages that I'm sending this person. And they just keep like blowing me off. And I'm just like, why are you doing this to me? I want it. It's got Marvel vs. Capcom, like the CPS2 Marvel vs. or no, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter is what's inside of it. It's got a Marvel vs. Capcom marquee. But the thing is like aces, and the monitor works really good. So, excuse me, slurping my water there. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Sorry you missed out on that, Rexer. That is a good deal. But okay, I also found a San Francisco Rush, the Rock Edition, fully working. It's missing the marquee and the side art is faded, but that's it. Monitor is good, everything works. $650. Delivery is free. No. Hey, what's up? Um, but anyways, so it's very tempting. I feel very tempted to pull the trigger on it. It's just like it would take up, a quarter of my garage. So yeah. Anyways, those are kind of my ventures right now. I'm really hoping for the HS5, but I just don't know yet. In other news, my Shinku Hadouken is so far 2 days late. So yeah, I'm annoyed by that. And I'm selling my T2 and my Street Fighter Big Blue, not my Marvel vs. Capcom. So I'm selling my T2, my Street Fighter Big Blue, and my Street Fighter Legacy arcade 1-up to make room for Shinku Hadouken and Double Dragon, and then hopefully the HS5. Because if I have the HS5... Oh, did you, Jason? Did you? That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm jealous. Um, but yeah, so I really am hoping I can get that HS5 because I'll feel like I kind of tied things off um, with that. So, that's like one of the ones that I've always wanted, like a Dynamo or a Big Blue, right? Like an HS5. HS1 would be cool, but HS5 or a Big Blue. So currently waiting on news for that, and then sold my T2 and arcade 1-up Big Blue. They'll be getting picked up tomorrow morning. No, it's really actually Rexer, to answer your question, because Rexer said, why is everyone selling their T2? CFB is 2, LOL. Maybe because 750 for poor emulation sound in one game. Well, I technically got mine for 399. Um, but the game really did play. I never had any issues with it. However, it's just like the least played cab in my house, and it's just taking up space. So it's like we played it when we first got it, and then I'm like, yeah, maybe if it was like had Revolution X on it and some other stuff, I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, it just doesn't get a lot of play on it, and I think even if I had a real one, it wouldn't get a lot of play on it. So, which is probably another reason why I would be way more selective with like the full size cabs that I got. But yeah, um, it's not that terrible. Especially like when it's hooked up, when everything looks better too, it doesn't feel as, squirt gunny, I guess. But yeah, I'm selling it. So, and my Big Blue, I was very tempted to keep that and actually do a JAMA conversion on it, but I'm not going to. So I would rather use that money to get a real um, Capcom Dynamo. So thank you, Raya. Thank you very much. Okay, so those are the big things. Let's see, bullets. So the Bar Top Arcade got for free. New project, definite. Selling T2, Legacy, and Big Blue. Callie, sell it. um, those are the other three that I'm selling from 1UP, and then I'm getting the Double Dragon Eye Arcade, and I'm waiting on the Shinku Hadouken, and the Dynamo HS5. You guys keep your fingers crossed for me that I can get this Dynamo HS5, because I really, it would be really cool, and it would go in the game room. So it would be cool stuff. But those are the big updates as far as pickups and throwdowns and all that. One of the other things I was kind of like curious about or wanting to talk about, and you guys will have to excuse me because like my voice is like very dry today. Sorry, let me check these out. Ooh. No, I wouldn't buy the arcade 1UP Double Dragon cab. It just, for one thing, it if it were to come out or whatever, I mean, I don't see any point in, pouring $500-600 into another 1UP cab like that. I feel like it's better to have like a standard form that you can play more games on. I have too many. Yeah. So my thing with the 1UPs is particularly tied to fighting games and to certain like kind of exclusive games. So like Dragon's Lair was one of them. That's a huge one. Why is GoPro calling me? So Dragon's Lair was a huge one. Tron was a huge one. Like I petitioned for Tron. And Star Wars. Those are three really big ones. I did want Outrun. I missed out on that. And then Big Blue was a really cool one. And obviously, I mean, you guys have seen how I customized mine and everything. So yeah. But anyways, so Double Dragon from Arcade 1UP would just be another one of their generic designs, and I'm just not into having like another generic design like that. Which is one of the reasons that the iArcade was appealing to me, was because it has Double Dragon on it, but it also has a bunch of Sega games on it. And it also has, I did want to play Donut Dodo and Space Invaders. So, I mean, that's a good handful of games that I'm getting with it. Plus, the cab design is unique. It's very cool, and it's a nice build quality. So that's kind of the way I look at it. So, No, I would not be buying that cab if they did release it. So I think that I'm not gonna lie, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is kind of the pinnacle of games that I've wanted to be able to play in an arcade format. Um, SF Pro if they ever release it. Not if I have my Dynamo HS5. Definitely not. But if I, for some reason, could never get my hands on a Dynamo HS5, maybe. Um, but I would just say that yeah. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is kind of like the pinnacle of having an arcade format, and that's the thing for me is like I love playing fighting games, and having them on Dreamcast when Dreamcast came out was like a huge deal. Being able to play all these games exactly how they were in the arcade. It's just, it's not the same though when you're not playing on, an arcade stick and arcade buttons and, you know, you're, even if you're trying to use like a fighting stick and it's like moving all over the place, it's just, yeah, no bueno. KI Pro, maybe. Obviously, I would get rid of my current KI cab, but KI Pro, maybe, because I feel like I kind of missed out without that midway style control panel. So, um, yeah, that's my reasoning. That's my thought process behind that. Um, but I just like, it's like if they keep coming out with like a generically designed cab and slap games in it, I'm like, who cares? Like, I'm more, like I said, I'm very specific to fighting games and then unique style games, which would be games with like really unique controls. And T2 is one of those. It falls into that category of, um, it's got guns. So it was cool, it was fun, but I'm just like, it's just not the same as it used to be for sure. So yeah, I mean, the ones that'll never go, Tron, Dragon's Lair, Star Wars, never gonna go. Um, my Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, probably not gonna go. Um, and my MVSX, definitely not. So, Ridge Racer, probably not, because it's another one of those unique ones. Um, so, all right, let's see. You have any Pac-Man? Yeah, I have the class of 1981. I actually just got Joe Zabo's, I think it's an acrylic marquee, the slide-on one for it, and it looks really like nice. Like the quality of it is really nice. I was just kind of disappointed because it was like bowed. Like, I mean, it had like a slope in it, kind of like it like wasn't pressed out flat, and I was like, dude, I waited like 3 months and this thing is like, so when you put it on the marquee, it kind of like pops off the top and bottom edges a little bit. But anyways, it's cool. It's better than the one that it came with, that's for sure. That marquee was trash. Um, so let's see. Power Stone, yeah, yeah. Well, Power Stone 2, I know for sure. I can't remember about 1, but 2 is sorry, Power Stone 2 is 4-player, I believe. Side. Oh, well, okay. The first one-up cab I ever had was a Street Fighter 2 first gen, and that was just like a dinky, like fun thing that I got, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I want to mess with this, and I put a pie in it and everything. And then I got the Miss Pac-Man one. What's up, Goofy? And then, yeah, the cut corners on the dynamo are cool. And then I got, what was it? So I got that one, then I got Miss Pac-Man, and then I got um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Um, but I think like the form factor was like super generic, and I was getting them all on sale, so it was like a good deal. But anyways, so I've been doing that. I mean, since kind of like since they started, I guess, right? Because I think what Space Invaders and Street Fighter were like the first kind of bigger size cabs that they released. Um, and I just wasn't YouTubing before then, mainly because I feel like that was like shortly after COVID started or around that time, and or shortly before, and then COVID started, and then everybody was at home, so it was not conducive. Like it would have been really hard to do something like that then. And then I just kind of moved from like one social media platform to the next, and eventually made it to YouTube. So here I am. Um, anyways, yeah. So I hope that answered your question. But the big thing with one-up cabs to me, like I feel like I always say this, but it's mainly the ones that are exclusive, like have some sort of exclusive control set or are fighting games. And the whole purpose behind that is to get the feeling and experience of playing the fighting games with a joystick and buttons, standing there, sitting there on a stool and doing it that way. I prefer playing them that way. So that was like the big thing for me. Um, and that's probably another thing that kind of sets the iRarcade apart from stuff like that in multicades. Um, but anyways, these are obviously, fairly easy to move around and fit in here and stuff. But I don't think that I will be Pac-Man Thief. I don't think that I will be buying anything after Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I really don't know like what else I'm gonna want. Like I don't think there is anything. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of those ones that um, I imagined like it would be cool if they did this like back in the day when they were doing Street Fighter and then came out with the first Marvel vs. Capcom. So no, I can't say I would though. I think that I would definitely lean towards after that trying to find more full size arcade cabs um, to do like unique things with. Like I found a Midway one, which I think would be really cool to make a Primal Rage 2 cab out of, because those are, they don't exist really. So get more personal. Yeah. Um, Time Crisis is cool, but I don't know. I just don't. I'd be curious to see how they're going to pull that off. Um, well, I'm actually retired, so um, this is kind of like my jam. Aside from like being a parent, I'm retired. Um, so I was medically retired from the military. They will likely have Street Fighter Alpha Series. Yeah, Street Fighter Alpha Series would be cool, but again, I feel like unless it's something very unique that they bring it, like the cab that they bring it in on, I don't know. It remains to be seen how Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is going to play and how that whole online platform is going to play out. I mean, I'm very curious to see where it goes because my concern is that the core mechanics aren't going to be working very well. And, some of the people I've talked to about it have said that it definitely had like input lag. And, I know that they're doing rollback for online play and all this stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. but it has the potential to be great just as far as like playing the game goes. What's up, Robbie J? Thank you. Um, Thanks, Endless. And Endless is correct. And you never ask somebody that question, Zohar. Jesus. Um, Anyways, it's all good. So I think the main thing for me is just that um, I'm not going to keep buying like reincarnations of the same stuff. And I would rather spend my money and time finding a unique cab that will support a platform that I really like, if that makes sense. So, um, yeah, potentially it should be good, Rich. I mean, I think, like I've said, the potentiality is there. Um, Double Dragon, I'm getting the iArcade Double Dragon, so that's a no for that. Oh, fun times. Yeah, I actually worked with the Navy quite a bit. Um, yes, Code Always Wins is involved. Yeah, I did hear about that. I'm letting go of mine, but so long. Um, Anyways, that's my biggest thing, guys, is, after Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I feel like it's going to be kind of me just moving on to like looking for things that I can, support like fighting platforms on potentially. So, Don, what is up? Right on. Army for 6 years. Yeah, definitely, definitely did do some good things for me. Um, Definitely did point me in a better direction. So, okay. So, kind of like talking about the philosophy of gaming here. What are your guys' views on the gaming world right now? Like, let's start with this. What's your biggest qualm with like the gaming culture right now? I'm curious because everybody is very they all have their own opinions, and they're very robust sometimes, but I'm curious. What's your guys' biggest qualm with you know, gaming in general, or let's say home arcades? Yeah, I know. That's one thing that definitely gets to me one up. Delude. More honesty in reviews, okay. All digital future. Price point is too high. Yeah, I mean, okay, let me start with what One Up said, and move through some of those comments. But here's what I think. It really irritates me that these, gaming corporations are regurgitating things and then wanting us to pay, a premium to play a game that we may have already played. And like, in all honesty, all they're doing is making it look better, maybe run a little bit better, but like realistically, if you've already had the experience of playing that game, the fact that they're putting all this time and money to developing it and reskinning it and doing all this stuff to it, and then they charge you a premium to play them, it's very annoying. Um, And the other unfortunate thing is, like with arcade games, is that, the manufacturers don't produce this kind of stuff anymore, really in any way, shape, or form, aside from going to consoles or through third parties, right? So it is, it is like disheartening in a sense. Empty world. I love a good open world game. But yeah, I mean, so I totally see that point. Let me read Console Fanboy's comment. Okay, Console Fanboy said, "My biggest qualm is when people delude themselves and pretend they like a game when they deep down know it sucks. I want more honesty in reviews." Okay, Zohar, what are you talking about? Like, get specific for me. Give me 3 examples. Just list them off. Ready? Go. Um, I think authenticity is like a very important quality when you're having somebody review something or look at it. I don't know about like totally raw dogging interviews, I mean, reviews, but I think that it is good to have an element of that in your reviews so that people can see things without it, them feeling like they're not getting the right angle. Any iArcade game, any. Okay. Um, but yeah, I think that if you don't like something, you shouldn't say, you shouldn't like try and find something good about it. You should just, give your opinion on it or whatever. Um, but I think, there's always going to be that element of people who are getting something in return for saying something nice, perhaps. Um, I'm not going to lie. I like Space Invaders. I still to this day like Space Invaders, and I played a lot of Space Invaders when I was younger, and I still have it on my Atari. So I think it'll be fun. Um, do I think it's like hype? I mean, I don't know. Not really. I think Cyberpunk 2077, that was hype. But yeah, so I mean, I guess there's a fine line between, you know, reviewing something from a non-biased point of view and then putting your opinion on it and then separating the two, notably, so that people understand, maybe. Um, Fine, whatever. Yeah, so I mean, that's just me. Yeah, I love Space Invaders. I really do. And I've always had a lot of fun playing that game. So I did have it on the one up version of it, but it was, I mean, it was not the just wasn't that great. So, which is why it got converted to a Donkey Kong cab. Um, However, the Atari version, the Atari 800 version, that's the one that I have. I love it, and I'm excited to play it on iArcade. So it'll be one of the handful of games that I have on there. So first time here, forgive me. Don't need the shades. I actually do need the shades, but thank you, Blaine. Appreciate you. Um, and I'm glad you're here. But I actually do need to wear these. They're prescription, and I get really bad migraines. And I have other issues with my eyesight. So when I'm doing lives, this is very helpful for me. Um, every time I don't, I regret it badly. So, but thank you for joining. If it's real to me. uh, um, but yeah. Hey Rexer, do you have an iArcade? after every iArcading show. Oh my goodness. The love. I can feel it. Um, so yeah, I oh, right on. Um, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a huge deal. I just, there's a specific set of games I want on it. But yeah, Space Invaders is one of the ones that I'm kind of looking forward to. So Space Invaders, Donut Dodo, and then the Sega games. So the Sega arcade games. All right, here's another thing that bothers me. When you have like an arcade platform and they put console games on it, I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? It's an arcade platform. Don't put console games on it. But that's just, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Because I don't want to play a console game on an arcade. I want to play an arcade game. So, yeah. Virtua Fighter 2, I'm easy to please. Virtua Fighter, that would be cool. But then I would feel weird having a Double Dragon arcade that's like old school and it's playing Virtua Fighter 2. Let's see. Running. Yeah, right. I'm not into playing a console game on an arcade machine. So, you know how it is though. Like everybody has like their different preferences, but I feel like okay, there's like Rexer level of what's acceptable, and then there's like my level of what's acceptable, and then there's in between there's something else. I'm not sure what it is, but um like to me there are certain things that I will just be like, okay, this is okay for me, like I'm good with it. But whereas like Rexer is kind of like more of a purist, or even like Scarlet Sprites, and they want things a certain way, or it's not worth it to them. Um, and I'm not trying to speak for you, Rexer. I'm just using you as a basis of comparison here. But essentially, you have those levels, and then whatever falls below that is like, you know, you get into like that arena of, oh, I would play console games on arcade machines and so on and so forth. And then it just starts to get like Frankenfest, kind of, so to speak. And so I'm somewhere like, where only a teeny tiny level of Frankenfest is okay to me. And when I say that, I mean like, when we're talking about like multicades and stuff like that. What is up, Steven? Um, so yeah, I try to go, I think I'm somewhere between like a purist and um, what would I say? I mean, I just use all my stuff like I play it. So, I mean, I want the element of realism there, but I also don't want a crappy experience with that. So, there has to be like give and pull, compromise and stuff. For example, like Star Wars. The yoke that comes with Star Wars is pretty trash. But fortunately, I was lucky enough to get Glenn's GRS yoke, and it literally changed the way the game played. Literally. Like, it made the game feel better, play better, um, and it felt like I was playing the arcade version again. So, I mean, I'm not embellishing that. Like, that's how it felt to me. And I remember playing that game a lot in the arcade. Um, so, hot at the soccer game. Um, So there are things like that though that do really matter, you know, like if the controls don't, if they're there but they don't feel right, you know, or they're not responding right in the game, then it like completely takes the pleasure out of the game or the experience. Um, so I think that that is like one of the big things for me is, you know, am I going to, what is going to be acceptable basically, and what do I need if something is screwy or I don't like it, what am I going to do to fix it? That's another thing. So I think that, you know, I see that, and then I see the potentiality or the things that I could fix, and then like a purist or somebody who has more of a purist mindset perhaps, um, might be like, no, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I just want it the right way out of the box. And that's totally understandable. You know, it is. It's just like, at the same time, to me, it's like, where are you going to find a product like that? Where are you going to find something that's coming out of the box and is exactly the way you want it, you know? I think that that's going to be extremely difficult, um, under today's circumstances, aside from like arcade hunting. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm in SoCal, so we don't have stuff like that out here. Um, to get it the right way out of the box would be 1,000. Now, I honestly I think it would be more than that. I mean, you know, with components and everything, I think it would be more than that. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, would it be possible to make a basically like a synth CRT? So it's somewhere between a CRT and an LCD, but it looks like a CRT. Is there a way to kind of like synthesize that? Because CRTs are not coming back. Um, and I think, you know, on the arcade scene and the home arcade scene, that is something that would be super cool if somebody kind of figured out a way to synthesize those two things, but get to produce a look of a CRT, but basically that you can hook HDMI cables into, and it's obviously a lot thinner. Um, yeah, because there's no, it doesn't flood out here, and we don't have tornadoes, but we do have earthquakes. So let me see here. Whoa, we are dwindling. No basements in Florida, but lots of pools, water. Yeah. What's up, Glenn? Thanks for stopping in. Um, but anyways, that's kind of my philosophy on, you know, like where the volume knob is as far as like going from purist down to, um, a little bit more liberal, I guess, with when it comes to like gaming stuff. So, oh no, I'm far out in the middle of nowhere where it's nice and quiet. So, um, you know, Glenn would actually be one who might be able to work on this idea with me. Um, Glenn, I was talking about being able to synthesize a TV, basically not a TV but a display screen that is gives you the look and effect of a CRT, but is basically like an LCD. So it's, you know, it's not very thick, and you can plug like HDMI cables into it and run, you know, video input that way. Um, that would be like a really cool thing for the arcade community. I just don't know. I wouldn't know the first thing about where to start with something like that. Um, but it's an interesting concept. Ah, okay. Well, our arcade collective minds are thinking of things. Um, it's got to be doable, though. I mean, for sure. So, oh, checking. Sorry if I'm doing this because I'm looking at the comments. We'll have LCD CRT on missile command. So how are you, but how are you doing that? I mean, I'm talking about the actual display itself, not a filter. So it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see how they kind of skew together. Um, but yeah. So Glenn, just I don't know if you how long you've been in here for, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna go pick up my iArcade Double Dragon, and I actually sold two of my arcade one-up cabs, and I'm selling one more to make space for that, a new one I'm getting, and then hopefully a dynamo. Um, 720. It's another good one though. Skater Die is definitely a really good one, but 720 also. Um, I used to skate when I was younger, and then I surfed for a couple years. Science Mind CRT is a lot more than a visual look. Right. That's what I'm saying though. Like I feel like you could simulate that in a display that was made to do it. So I don't know if I'm really like if I know enough about it to be able to really put it into words, but that's what I'm seeing in my mind. Um yeah, 350. So I do get headaches. Vertical scan rate also, right? So there's yeah. I mean, I know that there's like a lot of different elements to it, but I'm just saying like I think it would be cool. I think it would be possible. It's just obviously a matter of figuring out how to make a display that works like that. But anyways, yes. So no longer make them. Yeah. Up. Stand by. Let me. Sorry, I'm catching up. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, that's some of my philosophy that I shared with you guys, just about you know the kind of purest volume knob, I guess. And and whatever. I do have to say though, I have like the review video. How did you come up with the name? Give me a second to answer that one. I have a review video that is basically, well, it's kind of like halfway done because it's from a historic point of view is where it starts. But unfortunately, I was supposed to release my review for the new Street Fighter cab yesterday, and then I was thinking maybe today, but obviously that's not going to happen. So it might even get pushed to next week, and I feel like there's already some reviews out there. Looking at people's one-ups with all the pimped out LEDs and controllers. Oh my god. Uh, Ralph? Yeah, he does. That's true. But I'll have to I don't know if I'm going to wait until next week. I feel like if I drop it this weekend, it's just going to be like whatever. I mean, most of the reviews that I've seen, like Ralph's was pretty good, but most of the reviews that I've seen for it were like they're not really like talking about a lot of the core mechanic stuff, and they don't have like very good comparisons, and I want to like give something that has, because Street Fighter is like one of those ones that's like, it's meaningful to me, but I want to do something that is going to have like the history of it, and then talk about like all the different design factors and kind of what this package entails, and then obviously go over, like, I really want to give you guys a good look at what the gameplay is like and what it feels like, um, right out of the box. So, jolly. Um, anyways, so I'm hoping to really be able to do that because I really want to break it down for everybody. And I know that there's like, Street Fighter fans out there who would consider buying it just, based on what they see. But a lot of the reviews that I've seen, Ralph set aside, are just like, yeah, check it out. Like, look at this. Yeah, it's cool. You can play these games. And it's like, all right, great, great. But what about what you're getting, how it's working, you know, and the breakdown of everything that you just bought and how it compares to the, the actual experience. Um, so I think that that's like a really important thing. So moving forward with any review videos that I do on new products, that is going to be my goal, really, is to like really pour more history into it, and then have a basis for comparison, and then be able to like basically take it apart like one of those diagrams you see in an instruction book, and go through everything, and then talk about, the core mechanics and the gameplay, because those are extremely important elements. Like, obviously I'm buying it for the form factor, so I don't know, but if it ever gets here, then I'll be able to release the video. I'll be able to finish it and release it. But I might just wait until next week, even if it does get here, tomorrow. I might just wait until next week, because I figure I'll just play the thing all weekend, and, I'll just put more into it. So we'll see. But everybody's like already getting theirs, and I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. The minute they shipped it, I was like, yeah. Because I knew everybody was going to start getting theirs, and they were going to put out these, you know, 2-minute reviews where they're like waving the camera around it. And I'm like, dude. No, it is not. It is not. Um, so yeah, that was another project I was thinking about working on, was actually converting my Big Blue to, on the inside, to either a JAMA and using Darksoft, or a Capcom multicade. So, not part of the boys club. Okay, you can leave now, Jason. Just kidding. Toad's joking. Um, yeah, so I was thinking about doing that, though. Doing a Big Blue, basically taking my Big Blue, my Marvel vs. Capcom one, and either doing a JAMA conversion, and then sticking the Darksoft CPS2 in there. And Donkey Kong does look beautiful back there, doesn't it? And basically running all the CPS2 games off of the actual hardware, just using Darksoft's stuff there. But then I don't have to worry about batteries or any of that, and I'm running it on the real hardware. So yeah. So right, the name. Well, it's like, basically, I don't even know how I can explain this, because I don't take myself seriously in that sense. But I'm like, like a lioness. I'm like a very like strong, I would say like strong-willed person. And so I thought it was, kind of cool because she lioness is like way too much. So I thought she line. Um, and then she lioness is already saying like, female line. So I thought she line sounded cool and different. And then gaming, obviously, because this is what we're doing. We're talking about gaming. Okay, I'm gonna speculate on the next arcade one up that's coming out for an hour, and then talk about the um, the game list that might be on it, and the artwork that might be on it, and the design. And I'm gonna do a mock-up of the design, and then I'm gonna smear it all over the screen for you guys to look at, like that, episode of Family Guy where like Peter holds that piece of paper up and like smashes it in Lois's face 20 times. Um, Tech buzz comes from so so anyways, yeah. But that's where I got my name from. Um, and what is the deal with that? Like the speculation thing. Like who really like what's going to be the next thing that's going to be speculated on anyways? That's what I'm curious about because after Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like I don't care about anything. So what's going to even be speculated on? Are we just going to start making things up? I think I'm going to do that on my weekly show. Every week I'm going to bring up my new speculation, but it's going to be the most outlandish speculation you guys have ever heard in your life. I think you guys will like it. New idea. Boom. Hubert, maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, if it was better, if it got better. But I just don't get like what the point, like, is the point of it just to like attract an audience? That's what I think it is. Like, I'm just thinking from a mathematical standpoint, algorithmically speaking, that would be the only point, right? Or you put, arcade one up in every one of your videos to attract more people, maybe. I don't know. Speculation is great marketing. Marketing, right? Yeah. So, pro basketball player Shaq was going to announce a pro football game. No, no, I was in there as like a 3 and 4 year old, um, like a bug drawn to light. Literally, like my dad would take me to the mall, and I was just, um, maybe been walking for like a year, so like 3 years old, and would just start like walking into the arcade. So, um, but yeah, speculation, speculation. I think they're coming out with a Primal Rage cab that's going to be shaped like a dinosaur. And while you're playing it, it actually drools on you. How's that for marketing? Idle banter. Yeah, no, I think it is too. Harmless, so to speak, but it's like the amazing, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, it just is what it is. But it's definitely like a tactic, you know? And I mean, are you really getting anything out of it though? Like, what value does it have? Yeah, if they do re-release Star Wars, they need to put a bezel on it and like soup it up a little bit. Um, you know, give it a little bit more authenticity, coin door, stuff like that. So, anyways, these are going to be my new things, guys. Weekly, I'm going to be doing speculations, and I'm going to bring something good every week, and it's going to be the most outlandish speculation you have ever heard. banter to fall asleep to. Back to the Future, right? Yeah, alternate realities. Um, no, I guess that's just kind of like, part of my theory or philosophy. And we've got about 5 minutes left, everyone. I am not bailing early. I want to thank you guys for showing up. And after my show is over, Raya is going to be on her stream. So if y'all want to watch her stream, I think she's playing Kingdom Hearts. So go check her out. Uh, Great gal, great content, and super supporter of the gaming community. So console kits, thanks, Raya. Console kits, yeah. I think I'm like more interested when he's not doing as much speculating. Because I used to watch like a lot of his older stuff where, he would bring like products in and talk about stuff like that. Because he is like technical, he does know a lot of technical stuff. So, um, but it's just like when everybody gets into like speculation mode, like I think there's a cool element of it to a certain point, but then like I feel like it just goes like really, really far. Um, yeah, I feel like it started off as kind of like a thing, like a little thing that's a part of like an episode, and now it's like every episode of everything. And this isn't specific to like console kits. I'm just saying like on some of these shows, it's just the entire show is basically like speculating something, and it's like, who even cares? I mean, like the Double Dragon cab is probably a good example. Like I mean, I don't even care about that cab. Like it from what I saw anyways, it looked generic, like generic form factor, and there was nothing particularly cool about it. I mean, it was a Double Dragon 2. Anyways, Rexer, when's your next show? Oof. Let me see. Let me see. Um, that's the real Rexer. Drool with the speculation videos. Yeah. I'll do my best to bring you guys some entertaining speculation content. We'll spend at least 5 minutes on it every episode. So, um, well, my time is about up here with you guys. Any last minute questions? Or if you think of something like right after the stream, drop them in the comments. Uh, the earth is obviously flat. You are silly. Um, if you have any questions, like leave them in the comments. I'd love to get back to them. If there's anything you'd like to see on my channel, seriously let me know about it. Like leave them in the comments on my live because I will go back through and look. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And make sure you guys check out the show on Tech Buzz tomorrow, Game Time. That's starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yep, that's it. All right. All right, guys. Peace out.